everybody. This is Brian.
This is Dave.
And this is Preview with the Prior.
The show where we speculate about the upcoming episode of Better Call Saul.
Often incorrectly. All right, so today I guess we're going to speculate about episode 403. It seems weird that it's already 3 weeks into the, I guess, 10 episodes for season
right?
4.
It always flies by so quickly.
Well, it always feels like it flies by at the beginning because I feel like every year we're like, oh my God, I can't believe it's episode 405. And then by the time 409 comes around, we're like, oh my fucking God, 409, one more to go. Right? It seems simultaneously long and short at the same time. It's the weirdest phenomenon.
That is what she said.
Indeed. Timely joke. All right. So, Dave, drop the jingle. We're doing some listener correspondence. First off, we're going to start with Reddit. Not that big of a fan of Reddit, but they have a good community for Better Call Saul. It's pretty awesome. And one thing they definitely hate is when people spam their like endeavors. Like if I post our podcast, I do it there sparingly because people just downvote and not like it just for the fact that you're promoting something on Reddit. Mm-hmm. Plus the fact a lot of those people probably think we suck, which is cool too. But
they wouldn't be wrong.
Right. They wouldn't be wrong. But I do peruse it every once in a while just to see what people are saying about Better Call Saul because people bring up a lot of good points on there. But
yeah, I was gonna say, I'm sure it's a pretty efficient resource to tap for a large community of people that are probably way more into it than we are even.
Right.
And yeah. So
right. So one of the folks that wrote something super interesting. His username on Reddit is Minmo the Cat, user on Reddit. And I asked him if I could use his comment just because it's cool to give people credit, right? Like
credit on Reddit.
Yeah, credit on Reddit. So the title of the thread he made is "A Breaking Bad character returned tonight and no one noticed." So pretty intriguing, right?
Okay. Oh, so, is it about Gus? Go ahead.
What do you mean?
How Gus is more the Breaking Bad Gus and not the Better Call Saul Gus?
No. So I'm just going to read Minmo the Cat's post, and it'll explain everything, okay? So this is Minmo the Cat on Reddit. Big props to him letting us use this on the show. So Minmo writes, during Arturo's death, one of Gus's background goons was played by Eric Steinberg, an actor who played one of Gus's goons in 2 episodes during Breaking Bad Season 4. He appeared in the episodes Problem Dog and Bug. He is the goon who gets shot in the head by a cartel sniper in front of Jesse, who they later melt in an acid barrel. His name appeared in the credits as Nick, meaning they brought this super obscure character from Breaking Bad to Better Call Saul and gave him a name. How crazy is this? According to IMDb, he is appearing in 7 episodes this season. This is so cool to me. The idea of fleshing out Gus's goons with names and more history is great. What do you guys think? And then, of course, he goes on to post proof of the pictures of both the scenes in Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul and in the credits. And he also writes, also directly behind Jesse in the Breaking Bad pic that he posted is Chris Marla, the goon that Lydia tried to get to kill Mike in season 5 of Breaking Bad. Hopefully he appears in Better Call Saul too. So I found this post particularly really impressive because beyond all the bullshit on Reddit, that is a really, really good spot. That is, and it wasn't like that was posted yesterday. That was posted within minutes of the show ending. So Minmo the Cat was just that sharp. He did that research, and from what I could tell, is the absolute first person to point that out. So not only kudos to him for being like that on the ball and hardcore, but yeah, that's pretty crazy that the attention to detail for the prequel, bringing in an unnamed character and giving him a name and a history and bringing back the very same actor. That's the whole scenario here I find particularly impressive.
Did I ever tell you that my Reddit username is Minmo the Cat?
It is not. Shut up. Would be...
Not at all. No, that is impressive, and it almost makes me think maybe this is a a podcaster or something, or somebody that gets an advanced screening and has had time to look that up.
Maybe.
But or like it's just a super fan. Because,
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. That's just so Minmo the cat. Great job, man.
Big ups in that catch. Nice snatch, as I like to say. Nice snatch.
Totally. So also remember we said we never found out if Jimmy brought Mexican food or Thai food back from the restaurant.
Yeah.
We're idiots. And because it couldn't have been more obvious in the show if it had a big neon sign with an arrow pointing to it. I can't believe neither of us saw the most obvious thing and then brought it up as if it was a question of how it concluded.
Wait, I don't know. Was it Mexican food or Thai food?
Well, according to Cooter's Garage on our Twitter feed, it was Thai food. And it was, because I went back and rewatched it, and it's very obvious that he walks in with Thai food and soup, and it even references how he gets Thai tea. And how he's gonna divvy it up, and so as I'm posting the episode, that scene is airing on AMC because I like watching it when it airs on the TV as well.
Right.
Mainly because I like viewing, like I think about what we recorded on the podcast and then what goes on the TV show, and a lot of times I can pick out specifically where we're going to be wrong. And and I'm like, man, how the hell did we miss both of us missed a super obvious thing and try to be glib about it on the podcast. And no, it was actually explained. Quick correction by Theo ID Man on Twitter. He writes
it's the old man.
He wrote us to correct us.
It's the old man.
Noah Cutler on our Twitter feed agrees with us. It seems like the big buzz of the episode was the scene between Patrick Fabian and Ray Seahorn.
Yeah.
Right. A lot of people talking about that. Noah Cutler on Twitter says there is a scene with Patrick Fabian and Ray Seahorn. This is a masterclass in acting on Better Call Saul. In particular, a reaction Howard does that is so genuine and in character. And I'm not really sure what action he's particularly talking about, but I think he's probably referring to kind of how befuddled he was.
I just watched that scene. Remember I told you we had to wait 10 minutes because I wanted to watch another scene again?
Mm-hmm.
That was a scene I had to watch, and there's a movement. There's a, I don't know, he like tenses up in shock or something when she starts to like accost him.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I know that's kind of what he's talking about. It's a very genuine moment. Like I said, it almost seemed like, they weren't even acting at that point. They were just feeling emotions.
Emotions. Yeah.
So remind me later that I have thoughts on that scene that I want to expound on after we get through the listener correspondence.
Okay, can do. But and plus, I just wanted to give Noah Cutler a big shout out for participating in our Twitter feed.
There you go. Thank you.
Buddy
Thank
Brant,
you so much.
Our buddy Brant and you corrected me on my pronunciation of Ignacio. It is pronounced Ignacio.
Yeah. I had been letting it slide because, as I said on Twitter, that was my name. Like in high school Spanish, you choose a Spanish name. So I was Ignacio because I wanted everybody to call me Nacho.
Nice.
And I've never corrected you on the pronunciation because I don't know, just didn't want to. Or like I said, I correct you enough. So
right, yeah.
tongue in cheek. I'm just kidding.
Beautiful Nerd on Twitter says, goofy observation. Jimmy seems afflicted with the exact opposite issue as Chuck. Jimmy displays an affinity for electronic devices, coffee maker, juicer, copy machines, remote control devices. I never thought of it like that, but that's an excellent point.
He's like a millennial before there were millennials.
Yes, he was. He walks around like he crosses the street staring down at his toaster. Doesn't look for oncoming traffic.
He's out catching Pokemon right now.
Yeah, never talks to anybody. never talks to anybody. Always just hanging out with the waffle iron. That's it.
If you call him, he'll hit the hang up button and text you back. What do you want?
F. Qureshi from TV Time app. We forgot about the TV Time sometimes, but yes, we are on TV Time. Also with our Rick and Morty podcast, we're the official TV Time podcast for Rick and Morty, and It's All Good Man. So if you guys don't have TV Time, make sure to download it on your phone. It's basically an app where you can converse and share theories and opinions.
It's a forum.
It's a forum where about your favorite TV shows. So make sure that you download the TV Time app. There's supporters of our stupidity, and it's really cool that they put us on there and give us the audience.
It's like Reddit, except Brian doesn't hate it.
Yeah, exactly. So F. Qureshi also points out, he says, so you guys were wondering what type of food Jimmy brought back? I think that it might have been Thai, because he mentions that he got them Thai iced teas. He doesn't mention the actual food, but it stands to reason that if he got the Thai iced tea, then he probably got Thai food as well. Now, F. Qureshi, I think he sent us a couple comments last season, and I'm just saying he probably wrote that kind of snarkily. Snarkily.
It's really hard to pick up sarcasm through text, but yes, I'm going to go ahead and say we deserve that one for sure.
Yep. And I just wanted to give out a shout out to My Vogon Poetry, Brian K. and Jeffrey Pantaleon on TV Time for following our feed on there. Thank you guys. That's super cool of you to follow us on TV Time. And I encourage you, if you're listening to Preview with a Prior, I encourage you to send us your comments and thoughts and follow our Twitter feed. A lot of great people on Twitter. Jen S. from YouTube points out that Crazy 8 is actually a children's clothing store. They are the sister company to Gymboree.
Oh, really? There were other people that had commented as such, but that was the most detailed one, I guess.
But for the record, the first one I saw was Jen S. on YouTube. She actually commented shortly after the episode went live. And of course, some of our buddies on Twitter pointed that out as well.
Yes, so our bad for making assumptions.
So Reginald got to us old school through email, which I was kind of happy to see. He's actually sent me quite a few almost essays for the emails, which is super cool. I'm totally okay with that because I like reading it. And but one of the things in one of his emails that he sent me is a good point, right? Because we always talk about like Jimmy being a nice guy, and I think that we sometimes forget that he becomes, even though we know he becomes Saul Goodman, we kind of forget like what a dick Saul Goodman kind of is, right?
You're right.
And so like, through Better Call Saul, everybody's kind of been endeared to Jimmy, and a portion of his letter, I'm not going to read the whole thing, but it's a good point. It says, those of us watching have got to come to grips with the fact that a part of Jimmy/Sal, and maybe even Gene, enjoys the power of inflicting pain on others.
Huh.
I think we've kind of mentioned that a few times, but like,
that would explain the reaction after Howard's confession for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
And the way he reacted to the salesman job with the copy place.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, I have a lot of people talking about what that scene meant as well. Maybe we can get into it a little bit later if we circle around back to it. But thank you for your email, Reginald. Super cool of you to reach out to us via email. You can do that at host@itsallgoodman.com or nothingimportantpodcast@gmail.com or even host@nothingimportantpodcast.com. That'll get right to us. I just wanted to give out a shout out to J-Man from the Other Ground forums. I host the Better Call Saul thread on there where me and my mixed martial art online nerd buddies kind of chat about Better Call Saul on the Off Topic forum. And J-Man gives us shout outs all the time and posts our website on the Other Ground forum. So J-Man from the OG, fuck the OG, and thank you so much for supporting us on there. And with that, I believe is probably the longest.
And let's not forget, Brian, my favorite comment possibly of the season. It's going to be hard to top.
Mm-hmm.
From our boy Mall of America.
Yeah.
Regarding the hospital opening scene, everyone knows the best way to scrape a foot to collect a test sample is to turn the patient upside down. Which obviously I would agree with and Brian would argue with you about.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And let's not forget to raise the pant leg.
Well played. Well played, Mall of America, you glorious son of a bitch.
That was so funny to me that I had to text Brian to say, I cannot stop laughing at that comment. I laughed at that comment all day.
Yeah, that was a pretty good one. It was pretty good. What was the I get a feeling that's going to become the running joke this year. What was the running joke? It was something. Well, I remember in season 2, it was something about a crack on the wall or a cactus or something.
The cactus.
Yeah.
Yeah. The bullet hole in the cactus or something.
Yeah, there was some other one too at one point, but for all intents and purposes, we'll just go with the flipping it over to fix it thing. we can run with that this year.
Yeah,
so,
that's
pretty damn funny. All right, so great job, everybody. Thank you for participating in listener correspondence with us. Of course, you can find us on Twitter at ISGM Podcast. You can find us at itsallgoodman.com. Hit us up through email. I've already gave that address 5 times throughout this week. YouTube, Facebook, and of course, TV time, listener correspondence. Participate. Tell us why we're wrong. Tell us why we're idiots. You know the drill.
Tell us why we're right.
Tell us why we're right.
We could stand some positive reinforcement and some love too, which we do get.
Everyone's
pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Our
Absolutely.
fans are awesome.
Yeah. So, okay, here we go. Episode 403. Everybody saw 402. Everybody's talking about the Ray and Patrick scene.
Right.
You know, and Dave, you had some thoughts on that.
Yeah. After rewatching, my takeaway from that scene, follow me on this, Brian.
Okay. Yeah.
So my takeaway from this scene, other than the amazing acting jobs, is that Kim is actually wrong. And she's insisting that, Chuck didn't kill himself. And Howard is actually right. Why would Chuck write a letter to Jimmy, coincidentally, right before he died, if he didn't kill himself? And is the one last screw you little brother from beyond the grave. Deep down, to me, that says she knows Chuck killed himself. So is she just being vindictive towards Howard and trying to throw that back into his face too, knowing that Chuck did kill himself? Because Jimmy also told her this isn't right. All the stuff's in the backyard. Something's weird. You don't just get a letter like, I just happened to die 5 days ago. So here's a letter to my little brother.
Yeah. YOLO.
Yo twice if you're a Buddhist.
Yeah. Okay. So I think what's going on there, that's a great way to put it. Okay. So I think what's going on there is that Kim is just kind of down to be a ride or die bitch, as the kids say nowadays. You know what I mean? Because she I feel she was a little off put by Jimmy laughing and whistling and everything we discussed at the end of episode 401, right? But she also loves him. Right. So it's like, I think she's just looking out for the interest of Jimmy because she loves Jimmy, even though she knows that he's not exactly the most pious of individuals, if that makes sense. Right. Yeah. But yeah, no, good point. And I that thought, actually, I remember that kind of crossed my mind, but like sometimes I tend to look at stuff a little too deep and I'm like, no, but I'm glad you brought that up because that's kind of validation. So good point there. So I would say she knows what's going on. She knows the truth and she feels it, which also, I guess to me puts that scene in 401. It gives it even more credence to her being a little befuddled because she knows that Chuck killed himself. Right.
But she also throws where his brother died screaming at Howard when they were clearly told he died of smoke inhalation. Oh yeah, she's just trying to twist a knife. She's just trying to because she has her own animus of sorts towards Howard, as we found out throughout the series, right? I recently watched 305,
Mhm.
the chicanery episode, and
Mhm.
she keeps trying to stick it to Howard, and we noted all the little confrontations, or where she does
Mhm.
kind of swell up and puff her chest
Yeah,
out a little bit at him.
she
Sit down,
she's she smells blood in the water, man. This is her chance to pile on.
Maybe she's not quite the kind-hearted, pious, to use your word, upstanding lawyer that we were making her out to be as well.
Well, she's not, because remember, season 1, I believe, or maybe it was season 2, she also enjoyed scamming people with Jimmy. The thing is, though,
I think that was season 2.
yeah, she had to pull it back, though, right? She had to.
Right.
She had the ability to pull it back, where Jimmy did not. Jimmy doesn't have that.
Her line is a little closer to the vest than Jimmy's. Her moral center is a little more towards the rest of the people in the world than Jimmy's.
Mm-hmm. Right.
For sure.
Exactly. She's not as sociopathic.
Right.
Right? So the question is, where do these characters go in the next episode?
Well, I'm wondering about this letter. I don't want Jimmy to happen across the letter and the typical like, oh, what's this, and he reads it, because then that can go a lot of places. He could fight with Kim about it. Why didn't he show this to me?
Or like the whole like, oh golly gee whiz, now I have a change of heart, or kind of bullshit.
Right.
Yeah.
But I do feel like this letter is important.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it will come into play later. I think it has to. I don't know if that's going to be a throwaway thing.
So based on your comments earlier in this podcast, are you feeling like the letter was written by Howard himself?
I am wondering that, and I was going to mention that too. Is did Howard write this letter? Because when she throws it at Howard that you just did to do it for yourself, and he says no, that's another moment of like, well, that was kind of like good acting and in character. Maybe he wasn't doing it, because he always admires Chuck's quest for the truth no matter what.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So he would want the truth to be out there, which makes me think he wouldn't fabricate this letter. But he could. It's going to be interesting to see. I think it's going to come up again, but we're wrong a lot.
What if it and this might be like this might be a little too abstract, right? But hear me out on this. So he basically tried to buy Jimmy off for his portion of the money with $5,000, right?
Right.
What if the letter was fraudulently made by Howard, and that somehow screws the law firm and Howard in particular from getting any of his cut of Chuck's money, because Howard gave up a lot of his money to buy out Chuck. He might have been able to recoup it after Chuck's death. He creates a fraudulent letter to try to make Jimmy feel better, like kind of by proxy, because Howard feels guilty about the death of Chuck, so he's trying to make himself feel better by giving Jimmy some sort of weird closure through a fraudulent letter, which would also help Howard recoup his losses, which ends up fucking over the entire law firm because it's a convoluted plot. And what if that happened?
I can't think of anything that he could put in the letter, like to have any legal ramifications against HHM. If it's just a letter, then that doesn't really mean anything. Like, oh, so Howard wrote the letter, big whoop. Like, because there's no legal implications. Unless like Chuck never set up the scholarship fund, and
or it shows
like
a pattern, or it shows a pattern of fraud for like some sort of like legal dispute that they get into for the money that Jimmy is actually owed from Chuck instead of that $5,000, because Jimmy hasn't cashed a check yet, right? What if Jimmy tries to get more, right? And then it goes into this big whole thing, and now it's a pattern of fraudulent behavior by Howard. Maybe that'll expose more fraud. Who knows?
I
because Kim kind of thinks that Kim thinks Howard's smarmy.
Does he think he's smarmy? Yeah, especially after the way he treated Kim.
Mm-hmm.
I think that you could be onto something. I like that theory. I think it's very possible. It's possible.
I might not be. Sure. maybe I'm not exactly on the right path, but maybe because there obviously has something more to do with the letter, right? And I feel
think
like
you may be headed in a good general direction.
okay, I'll take that. So
like you're trying to get to L.A. and you're just going west, so you're kind of on the right direction, but you may end up in Albuquerque.
Right, and then my guitar will get stolen at the gas station.
Oh, shut up! Yeah, I know you got to bring that.
Yeah. Sorry.
Funny thing is that I want some Albuquerque Isotopes gear, but it just keeps reminding me of Albuquerque. Everything reminds me of Albuquerque, especially when I look at acoustic guitars that got stolen from my car when I was moving to Arizona.
Yeah. Moment of silence. Okay.
Moving on.
Back at it. Yeah, moving on. So that's where I think that possibly might be headed.
It's very interesting. It's very, because all I'm saying is that it's going to be something. You actually have a theory, and let's see how it plays out. Let's do that. Mike, where does Mike go from here? Because he didn't have too much going on in the last episode. He's gonna go inspect some more warehouses.
What if that was his whole character arc?
This whole season is just him going into warehouses and testing their security.
Because it ended with Jimmy calling and offering him a job, right? In relation to that Hummel figure.
Right.
What if Mike's just like, nah, and then you just see him like working the gate at the Madrigal. So he made the most roundabout move ever.
Do you think? Okay, well, do you think Mike's going to take the job? Do you think Do you think he would go steal? Do you think he would go steal the figurine for Jimmy because he's got $10,000 a week rolling in, but that's just laundering his own money. So he still needs to make money.
Am I? Right. Okay. So am I wrong in this? Okay. So what? Because it's been so many seasons, and I have a lot going on a lot of the time, so I don't remember things too clearly. Wasn't it established that Mike kind of had like for what he does? Doesn't he have a very principled stance on things? Yes. Like he's not a common thief, right? There has to be some legitimate reason.
He's not a mercenary,
right?
He won't do something just for the money, right?
Right. I thought his whole deal was he had like an ethos to him.
Yeah.
So I would say probably not, because Mike has like this weird like principled stand about the crimes he commits, and I think just like petty theft would be beneath him. You know what I mean?
Plus,
like it would have to be like for a bigger, either for a ridiculously large payday or a bigger reason. I mean, unless we find out that something about Irene that this Hummel figurine is somehow going to put into motion, some scenario that this Hummel figurine is going to put into motion, I have a hard time thinking that Mike would just commit some sort of petty theft.
I'm almost, this is freewheeling. This just occurred to me.
Mm-hmm.
That what if Mike turns it down, and then Jimmy either tries to get it himself or hire somebody else? And because that can go really wrong, especially if Jimmy's breaking into a place that he just interviewed for a job, a couple days ago.
What if he tries to hire Nacho? or
who go to the vet? I think he would go to the vet. Maybe this is where your boy Bill Burr comes back. Because he already hired Huel for a job.
That's right.
Through the vet.
Good call.
And remember, the vet was like, does he need to get into a small space? And he's like, no. Well, maybe now he needs somebody that gets into a little bit tighter of a space.
Kubi?
And then Kubi makes his appearance, yeah.
Okay.
Ranting and raving about, Philadelphia fans or something.
That's a great idea. Okay, I'm gonna go with no, but I'm not really sure. I'm gonna go with no. Mike doesn't do the job, but I'm not really sure where it goes from there. But What if Jimmy went back begging for the job that he basically told him to piss off as a means to try to get?
Then he leaves with the figurine that tells him,
Yeah,
to
like
fuck off
goes back the next day. Is like, God, guys, I'm really sorry, and then create some sort of scenario where he could just take it off the shelf or get into the shadow box and take it.
You never know. What if he brings the film crew? Because we haven't seen the cameraman and the sound guy in a while.
That's right. That's right.
Well, they were in last season, but
yeah. All right. So I guess lastly, what about Ignacio? Ignace. So my whole fat tongue lisp thing here is hurting me. Okay.
Just say Nacho.
No, I am determined now. Ignacio.
Ignacio.
It's
not that hard, Ignacio.
Ignacio. Am I putting an S in it? I feel, to me, I sound like I'm putting like a bigger S in it. Ignacio. Is that better? But now it sounds like I said Ignacios, like it's some sort of weird cereal, like Ignacio.
Yes, Ignacio's. Yeah, so Nacho is going to come up with his own cereal called Ignacios.
Right. And then there'll be like Ignacios
and you don't pour milk in it, you pour in nacho cheese.
Oh, that sounds gross. No, and then there'd be like, no, they look like, so the cereal would look like little corn chips. And then
it is little corn chips.
Right. Okay. But hear me out. Right. But then that would just be plain. Right. Like that would be Ignacio's cereal. Then there would also be Ignacio's with marshmallows. And you know how Lucky Charms has the 5 different shape of marshmallows? You know, there's like green clover, purple diamonds, right? For him, for Ignacio's, it would be like black olives and cheddar cheese and dollops of sour cream, green peppers and chives. Bam! Ignacio's with marshmallows.
See, I thought you were going to go with like the marshmallows would be like green dollar bills, red blood splats, black handguns, white bags of heroin.
That would be, you know how they have special edition version of cereals? Like right now,
when they add the extra 3 marshmallows to get you to buy them. Yeah.
Right now, I literally have a case, and I'm not really sure how this came to be, but I have a case of, blueberry maple pancake Captain Crunch. So it's like the only thing that really makes it a Captain Crunch cereal is the fact that Captain Crunch is on the on the cover. It doesn't really resemble any Captain Crunch other than Captain Crunch is on the cover and maybe shape. So the dollar bills and like switchblade and blood splatter marshmallows, that would be like one of the special limited edition version of the Ignacio's. Perhaps the Halloween edition for the fall. That way it's festive.
Oh, that's it's festive and topical. Yeah, that'd be ridiculous.
So where does Nacho go? Because he kind of got like Shang Tsung by Gus. So where does he go? Like, what's his next move? What does he do? Because now he has to explain. He has to explain the death of
Arturo.
Arturo, right?
Arturo's churros are the partner.
No, they're the
candy. Ignacio's and Arturo's churros.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Or it's just the Arturos.
Churros and Ignacio's. Yeah, we're idiots. I don't know. I honestly got nothing on that because it's so, it's such a cliffhanger and it's such a messed up. It was completely unexpected. It caught me off guard. I have no idea. Like, what the hell is he going to do? Does he have to go talk to his dad? Does he have to go explain things to Hector Salamanca? Is he in charge now? I think he's like running the ship now. So Gus has now taken the leader of the Salamanca gang, and he now controls both parties.
But I get the feeling that he was kind of just a muscle, right? Because the murder twins,
they're the muscle. I always see because they don't even talk. How are they going to give any instructions? Grunting. And which is what Hector did in Breaking Bad.
Maybe not being a leader, but I feel like they I guess where I was going with that is they kind of impose their will more. Like they can impose their will more. You know, I mean, I get it, they're the enforcers, but I would think if you go down the family line, the actual nephews of Hector probably has a higher standing than.
But they're
Nacho.
never but they're only there when needed. Like Nacho's always there. Nacho is a much more integrated member of the family.
Or
I think he's the highest ranking member of the Salamanca gang that's not incapacitated or dead at this point.
yeah, I guess that's true, right? Because yeah, that's true because Tuco's in jail, right?
Yeah. Oh, what if he gets out? How long did he go to jail for? Isn't he up for parole? Like now?
It wasn't that long, right? His sentence, because essentially what happened when
wasn't it like 5 years? And if you have to serve 80% of 5 years is like 3 years, and that's like right about now.
Ah, yeah, maybe, yeah,
and maybe you were right when I was calling you out about the whole it wasn't me, it was Ignacio thing. Maybe it has something like Tuco comes out, and now Tuco wants some answers or whatever, or finds something out, or like Gus tries to pin them against each other by saying, "Hey, Tuco, this is what Nacho did," and then have at him, and just kind of stoking fires and letting shit burn. I don't know. It's interesting.
Yeah, that's a tough one. So I don't have any theories about that, but I'll bet you our listeners do. So
probably.
Anybody out there, please, Dave and I, we've kind of stumped each other. Where does Nacho go from here? Because we can't think of any great theories except for stupid jokes about our churros and Ignacio cereal. so let us know what you think. Please hit us up on Twitter at ISGM Podcast. You can hit us up at host@it'sallgoodman.com, host@nothingimportantpodcast.com, Facebook, TV Time app, which is super cool of you people on TV Time. Probably carrier pigeon. I've seen a few smoke signals.
Morse code.
Sign language.
And then a Morse code decoder because I don't know how to read Morse code.
Right.
Singing telegram. I would take a singing telegram all day.
Yes, that would be actually amazing. That would be amazing.
We hear that you've been down your luck. I'm a nurse that likes to.
Like, what if it was like Jonathan Banks delivering the singing telegram?
I hear he's quite the singer.
Really?
No.
Oh.
Maybe I did. I don't know. Yeah, didn't he do like musicals and stuff? Wasn't that
I don't know.
Didn't PFAB lay that on us one time?
Maybe. But wouldn't that be awesome though? Like Jonathan Banks like knocks on the door and he'd probably just be like, "Here." And then like throw whatever he's supposed to read at you, and then walking away mumbling how he can't believe that he went through with it, hating his life.
Oh, I wanted to throw in also speaking of Mike, is that his whole security check thing can definitely lead to some adverse reactions from people that don't really know what's going on. So even though Gus told Lydia to get him a badge, if he decides to do something without getting a badge first, that could turn out kind of bad too.
Yeah. Now that
he crosses like a real security guard or like somebody that is really trying to protect the place or something.
Right. And then, so they start delving in.
Right.
See, and that's where Reach for the Stars is somehow foreshadowing.
It's going to be a security guard like, "Reach for the sky, mister."
Yeah. like Woody from Toy Story, which
exactly.
Okay, like Woody from Toy Story, which was made by Pixar, who made Incredible 2 with stars Bob Odenkirk and Jonathan Banks. Full circle.
Bam.
That's
like 4 degrees of Kevin Bacon.
Thank you. Feel free to insert like an applause sound effect right here as I thank myself. Thank you.
I'm not going to, but I'm gonna leave in the part where you tell me to do that.
All right. Well, all right, guys. This is getting ridiculous now. Thank you so much for listening. We'll see you guys after 4:03. We'll have it up as the credits roll. That's the goal anyway. Dave. So, with that, thank you for listening. Keep up the listener correspondence. And, Dave?
Here's your applause break.